everyone. Welcome to the Tanya Love Show, and I hope everyone is having a beautiful day today. It is sunny and gorgeous out here. Kind of started out rainy, but we got sunshine, and so I'm so grateful for that, and I hope that it's nice wherever you are watching from. To start out, I'm just going to give you all the numbers, so if any of you want to call in today, feel free. I would love to have some people share and connect on the topic today, which I'm going to be talking about clearing programming. And this is like belief system, and we're going to get even deeper into some discoveries that I've had recently with some of my healing sessions and my guides, what I've been being given from guides in the guidance of what's going on in regards to programming. So the number, if anyone wants to jot this down and you want to call in and share your own experiences or ask any questions, I would really love for you to know that this show is open for that, and we would love to have a soul conversation with you. So please make use of that. The number is 919-518-9773, and you can also come and call in to Computer's 2K Voice if you're calling through Skype. So anyway, and any of you watching, if you want to type in your name or your nicknames on the live chat, we can see any questions you have or comments. So take a minute just to go and check into the live chat, and welcome to our show today. So today I feel inspired to speak on the importance of clearing programming. And I've had a lot of things happening the last couple weeks in my work clearing sessions, where I'm actually assisting in clearing people of any old belief systems. There could be entities attached to their energy field, which could be like earthbound spirits. And recently I've discovered the clearing of implants that are actually implanted in the ethereal body that affect humans. It can affect animals. It can affect environments and the Earth's grids as well. And so we're going to talk about that, and it's a little sci-fi, so I really encourage you to open your mind and heart on this show, because this stuff actually has kind of blown me away, and I've just been getting a lot of confirmation and more synchronistic things happening to get my attention, to show me that my guides are actually helping me understand what's really going on. So I'm going to talk about that today. And one of the things that I saw earlier on Facebook, it's a quote by Matt Kahn, and it says, most people do not see their beliefs. Instead, their beliefs tell them what to see. This is the simple difference between clarity and confusion. And I completely agree with this statement. And I was like, this is so perfect for our topic today. So I felt like this was very synchronistic timing that it came in. But most people do not see their beliefs. So if people, this is as a healer, what I help people with as a guide is help them to see what is unconscious in them. So when they're living out their lives from a belief system that they're not enough, or they're living out their lives from a belief system of, they're superior to others, or they are living out a belief system based on suppressed, unconscious pain body from their childhood or past lives, they don't see that. They can't see it because they're actually operating from the program. So instead, their beliefs tell them what to see. I completely agree with this. So this is when someone is taught a belief system, now the beliefs tell them what to see. So instead of seeing, let's say I'll use myself an example. I could be the most loving, generous, and giving person and be in the state of helping and assisting every soul that comes across my path as a catalyst to helping them get where they need to go for their own expansion and evolution. But if someone is attached to their belief system and they believe that women that are of power are bitches and controllers, and this is just an example, but let's say someone has this belief, then in that belief system, the belief is going to tell them what to see. They can't see me clearly now. They're going to see me from the taintedness of the shades that they're putting on, and they're seeing through a filter of their own belief system. And so it's going to be really tricky for them to even receive help and assistance from someone that shows up with that very intention because they can't see it, because their belief systems tell them what to see. If someone's taught that they are sick and they're dying and they have no power or control over their movie, and then there's someone that comes in and speaks the opposite of that because at some level their soul wants to heal, they're not going to be able to see that that soul is actually there doing exactly what they're meant to do, to help them through a catalyst of change and to help them to clear and dissolve the old program. They're going to see what the belief systems tell them to see, which is victimization, suffering, there's no hope, I'm hopeless, I'm helpless. And so those belief systems will control them. And I love how he says this is a simple difference between clarity and confusion. Absolutely. Because if we want to actually be clear and we want to have clarity on a situation, we have to, first of all, be open and receptive to wisdom coming through. So if I have a limiting belief, that's kind of like putting a filter over what can come through. So now someone gives truth to me and they share and provide wisdom, but I only allow so much of that to even get through my filter, because anything that tells me anything other than what my belief system says, which is it's all over me, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, then that is going to be deleted. I'm not even going to hear it. It's going to be like the filter that blocks any incoming information and help in regards to coming back into wholeness. And so in regards to that, like how important is that for each of us in our life? It's really fucking important, honestly, because if we can't be in a space of receptivity and we can't allow wisdom and guidance to flow in, if we can't allow the healing to flow in, if we don't believe we're worthy to heal, if we don't believe that we are enough, if we don't believe that the universe actually loves us and is supporting us, then we limit the abundance that can come in. We limit the good that can come in. And it's not that there's a limitation to good. It's not that there's a limitation to the abundance or to the love. It's that we are withholding it. We are creating a barrier to that good. And so this is the program that I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit today is, as human beings, many of us are doing the best we can connecting with the amount of consciousness that we're really letting come in, first of all. And secondly, we're doing the and concerning that there's programming going on. There's like an implant in you. If you could kind of picture the movie The Matrix, where they're putting that implant in him, and it's kind of controlling his energy, and it's kind of keeping an eye on him. And there's a lot of films that use this kind of imagery. But if we can understand that there can be programming that is actually affecting us, and in our ethereal body, it's like an implant that comes in. And one of them that I've discovered as I was doing auric clearings, I noticed in one person's body, there was all this stuff going on in their left side of their body. And I was just like, okay, what is this? And every healing session is different for me. Every healing session is like an amazing teaching moment for me to teach me more about what's going on with humanity and what's going on in our bodies, our emotional bodies, and our auric field. And in this person's body, there was all this energetic stuff going on the left side of the body, a lot of issues in the cervical spine and the neck, and then through the heart chakra and across into the shoulder and down through the body. And I often don't really look at things and give them names. And this has been my journey. Like, I'm very abstract and I'm very much just tuning into angels, and I just kind of listen to what they're guiding me to. I'm clearing stuff and we're getting rid of it. I don't really spend a lot of time in myself as like, let me give that a name. I need to trademark this healing, and what am I going to call this, and what trademarking can we call this? And maybe that's something I should do. I don't know. It's just not what I've done. Now, I will see humans that they do this. They'll create like Reiki, and they'll call it Reiki, and they'll trademark it, and then now they own it, and now everyone has to do trainings through them with their understanding of energy and life force. I personally feel we are all one with Source, and we all have the capacity, the ability, the divine right to tap into energy at any time. And this is our natural state. It's our natural, functioning to do this. So there's no part of me that feels like I need to trademark that. But the reason I'm saying that is I have been assisting with auric clearings for the last few years and had amazing results with humans healing physical injuries and pain, like instant healings of arthritis, instant healings of depression, coming from a state of suicide, like feeling suicidal, to shifting that energetic in the emotional body to bliss and happiness and peace. You name it. I have seen some amazing things happen in these sessions, but I never sat there and like labeled or cared to even dig through the pile of dust, let's say, as we're vacuuming out the auric field in the body. I don't really spend the time like, what should we call this stuff? Like, it's an energy, it's an entity, we're getting rid of it, we're sending it in a big ball of light back to the great central sun, back to source, to be purified and transmuted. That's what I really do. I don't really spend time labeling it. But what was interesting is after this session I recently had, I went to check my Facebook, and there was somebody had shared a link to a video or a radio show. And I just felt intuitively drawn to check it out. So right then I went and checked it out. And in that radio show, they were talking about implants, and this guy that had been discovering how to clear people of implants. And as he's talking, I'm like, oh my God, that's what I'm doing. Like, that is exactly what I'm doing. And he was naming them. And then I was looking at a website of the link for the same radio show. And there's a woman that she calls them, hopefully I don't mess it up, I want to say they're called like J cells or something like that. And my beloved had heard of it before. And it's these implants in different parts of the body, like around the pineal gland, in the crown chakra, and above the crown, at the solar, like where we're more connecting with our solar angel. It's like all these places that it was labeling where they're at, and where he notices that they are at in humans and in animals, is where I was feeling all this energetics in this client that I had just worked on. So I was like, whoa, this is intense. And so when that happened, I went into meditation, and I was talking with my angels and my guides and thanking them for clearing me of any programming that I have allowed to be implanted in my being, either unconsciously or consciously, in all directions of time. And I was just like, let's clear it out, because I did not give permission for this. So if there is something going on, I'm clearing it out. Now, I feel I've been very diligent as a healer to maintain my alignment. I'm constantly in meditation, constantly aware of my energy field, clearing it, releasing energies if I feel like I've picked up on something. So I feel like I've been pretty good at just like balancing things and keeping them stabilized. But I did feel when I called in this assistance to clear these implants, I felt energetics happening in my third eye. I could like, almost as if you picture like not the physical body, but like the ethereal body, like I felt energies like reaching in and pulling stuff out. And I realized it was my higher self reaching in with my own ethereal hands, if you will, and reaching in and pulling out these energies and these implants from my own energy field. And then a day before this happened, before this whole awareness came to me, and I realized how important this is, and how much humanity, when we see people just going through the motions of things and they're just not questioning misalignment or questioning authority when it's not aligned and balanced, it is the programming. And so a lot of us, we don't even realize how much we really aren't free. Like we're really not practicing our free will when we have an implant in us that loops our mind and tells us these repetitive thoughts over and over again. And we're basically having like an argument in our own mind all the time. This is pretty common with a lot of my clients. When I first meet them, that's normal. Once they have a session, one of the first things that people say after they've received a session with me is, oh my God, I feel so light. I feel like I have not had this feeling before where my mind is quiet. Like there's nothing going on in there. It's quiet. And that is our natural state, to have stillness and this presence, this inner peace. But most of the clients, when I tune into them and they feel that contrast in the energy, they comment on it every time, how they feel so much more at peace. They feel so light. I feel like a huge heaviness has been lifted. One of the clients I recently had, I could visualize as now I'm realizing these are implants, and I'm